Hi everyone, welcome to today's basic mat class. Today is going to be a knee friendly class, so we'll be focusing quite a lot on our abs, arms and glutes. So we're just going to start with some basic balance exercises first on one leg. Now if the balance isn't so good, you can keep your toe relatively close to the mat, to the floor with these ones. So you can regain your balance, or feel free to bring a chair next to you and you can hold onto a chair really lightly, and then we'll move to the other side and do the other leg. So we're going to start with some single leg work, and I'll get Brad to just still face the camera with these ones. We're going to take all of our weight over onto the left leg, and as we hold the weight on the left leg, we want to be really focusing on lifting the inside arch, squeezing the buttock muscles, making sure that the hip doesn't drop out to the side, and trying to keep the pelvis nice and level. So we'll just go hands on your hips there, and you can feel your abdominal muscles engaging as we tighten in the pelvic floor. And then we're going to take the right foot just out in front and just having that big toe just resting on the floor. Now remember to stay nice and tall. Imagine there's a hook in the top of the head lifting you up, and that will help you to activate the core and hold your balance. As we breathe out, we're going to float the leg up and then breathing in to lower back down. Just doing 5 there, so 4 to go. Breathing out and in to lower. Out to lift, in to lower. Holding that balance, holding steady. Remember, you can hold onto a wall or chair with your left hand if you need to. Once we've done 5 here, we're going to circle the leg out to the side. Holding your balance again and lifting it just slightly back behind you. It's probably better to be slightly behind your midline of your body if you can here, and then breathing out, just doing a little lift off the floor with the right leg and breathing in to lower. Try to target those glute muscles at the side of your hip. Good, 2 more. Try not to lean too much to the left hand side here. And last one. And then circling the leg back behind you now, and a little bit of a tip forward is fine with this one. Again, hold that balance if you need to, and then right leg lifting up and then back down to touch. Lifting up for 4. Focus on the squeeze into your glutes and try to keep your knees straight, and it's okay if it's a small lift. Don't think so much about the height, but keep the length going through the leg, and bring the leg back and underneath you. Now if you were using a chair or a wall, then you'll just want to move the chair to the other side of you or step to the side, or you'll have to turn around and just listen to us with this. So we're going to balance on the right leg. Again, lengthen up through the spine. Imagine that hook in the top of the head. Exhale, left leg floats up, breathing in to lower down. Keep the knee nice and straight and really work on contracting in through the front of that thigh muscle. And 2 more. Make sure that you're not leaning backward as you lift. Keep nice and straight. Then circle the leg out to the side, slightly backward. Exhale as you lift. Inhale to lower. Again, only a small lift is fine. Try to target those buttock muscles. Try not to let the leg come forward, and try to avoid leaning. And back behind, hold. A little bit of a lean forward is fine, just so we don't overarch your back. And then we lengthen as we lift behind us. Use the squeeze into that lower glute and try to keep the knees straight. So we're really working through the buttock muscles and not the hamstrings, and coming back and underneath. Brilliant. Now just give each leg a little bit of a shake off, a little bit of a wiggle through the ankles, and then we'll go into some roll down. So just standing at the end of your mat now, up nice and tall. Again, that hook in the top of the head pulling you up. We're going to roll down and walk ourselves forward, and then we're going to reverse it and come all the way back up, just to get some practice in that strength that it requires to support yourself on your hands and your feet in sort of a high press up position. So we're breathing in to prepare, and as we breathe out, we're going to tuck your chin to your chest, drop the ribs down, scoop the navel up into the spine. Now it's okay to put a little bend in the knees here as we just start to walk our hands. And you want to try and go as far forward as you can comfortably go, that you've got that strength. And if you manage to find this lovely high plank position, fantastic. And then we're going to walk our way back. And if you can keep the knees straight, that's great. But if you do need to put a little bend in the knees, that's fine. Now once you get back there, tuck the chin to the chest and roll up slowly through the spine. Get a nice breath in here. We'll do 2 more of those. So we're rolling down, chin to chest, navel to spine. We start to walk ourselves forward, trying to find that nice long line, feeling the work through the abs and through the shoulders, and then we start to walk back up. Beautiful. Again, get that stretch, tuck the chin and roll up through the spine, tucking that tailbone right under. All right, last one now. So we're going to tuck that chin to the chest again, roll through the spine, make sure that we don't just lean straight over through the hips, and walking forward along the mat. Holding your position there. We're just going to try to hold there for 3 breaths. Nice in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more breaths. Squeeze those glutes, connect those inner thighs, get strength from your hips. And last breath. And then just carefully bend the knees, swivel to your hip, and come down onto the mat. Lovely. We'll bring the legs out in front and, round behind, so we'll get ready to spin around so his feet are down the corner. Stacking up nice and tall. Now we're going to try some full roll downs. So if you're not comfortable with full roll downs, you can just go halfway, that's fine. Or the other option is putting a small rolled up towel or a little pillow just in behind your lower back so that you can use that to get a little bit of leverage on the way up, something to press down into. So again, just take it where you're comfortable. We don't want to feel you really jerking your way up through these roll downs. So starting with the arms out in front. Again, Brad doesn't need the thing, but if you do, that's great. And as we breathe out, we're going to roll down, tucking that tailbone under. Take it slow. Make sure you don't tip over to one side. Now, as the arms come over the head, try to keep your ribs down. And then breathing out, the hands come back, chin tucks to the chest as we curl forward, stretch. Breathe in, stack back up nice and tall. 2 more. Breathing out as we roll back, imprinting the spine, scooping in those abdominals. Breath in there. Hands come overhead and breathing out as the hands come back. We tuck the chin to the chest and roll up. And restack up tall. 1 more time now. Breathing out as we roll down. Breathing in. And exhale as the hands come back. Chin to the chest as we roll forward. Excellent. Stack up tall. Now we'll roll down 1 more time and stay on the mat. So exhaling as we roll back through the spine. Excellent. Let your arms just rest down by your sides now. So bend the knees. All right. And then we just want to work through your pelvic mobility here and your lumbar spine mobility. So going into some spine curls. So we're going to keep the arms down. Feet should be in line with your hips here. Breathing in to prepare, and as we breathe out, we're going to tilt the pelvis, squeeze the glutes and roll up through the spine. Hold there for a breath in and breathe out as you roll back down. Again, breath in and exhale, squeeze the glutes as we lift up. Hold for the breath in, breathe out, drop the ribs down. Try to get that lower back to press down into the floor before your bottom touches down again. Let's go 2 more. Breath in at the top. Breathing out as we roll down through the spine. And last one here. Breath in there. And breathing out as we roll down. And then we'll just hold our bridge position next for a little bit of marching. If you feel any cramping your hamstrings, just continue your normal roll ups, or just don't lift quite so high if you're feeling that cramping. But we're going to come up into that pelvic bridge, and if you want more challenge, you can have your hands straight up at 90 degrees and away from the floor. But if you do need to use the hands and help with a little bit downward pressure, that's fine. So keep the pelvis nice and stable, bracing the abs, connecting the ribs. As we exhale, we're going to lift one leg up to tabletop position, and then breathing in, lowering it down. Breathing out, the other side lifts now. And breathing in to lower down. Try to brace with the stomach to keep the pelvis nice and steady. Really activating through those glutes here as well. Don't let the hips shift off to the side. Don't let the ribs shift off to the side. And don't let those hips roll. 1 more time here. Abs strong, glutes strong. Hold and breathe out. Roll down through the spine. Excellent. And then rest the arms back down by your sides. Okay, going into a little bit of ab work now. So we're going to start with some ab curls with one leg lifting into tabletop. So make sure that you keep your pelvis nice and steady. We don't want to tip and roll through the hips. And we're going to bring the hands just in behind the head, supporting the neck, but just making sure that we don't tug on the head. So we're going to start with lifting your right leg. So breathing in to prepare. As we breathe out, just curling up through the head and shoulders, lifting the right leg to tabletop, breathing in to lower down. Exhale, left leg lifts up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale up and inhale down. Good, keep working with that alternating. We'll do 2 more each side, making sure that we're keeping that neutral spine. So just watch that you don't get the lower back too flat with these ones. It can be tempting to over imprint. And one more time, keeping that chin lightly tucked, elbows wide, and releasing down. Excellent. All right, going into one more ab exercise here, which is going to be our hundreds. Now you can just keep the legs in tabletop with these ones, but if you do want more challenge, feel free to extend the legs out. And we're going to add in the legs extended out on the 50 after we pass 50. So if you want to follow along with that, that's good. If you need to stay in tabletop, that's fine. So we're going to bring the legs up to tabletop. We're going to hover the hands, take a breath in to prepare. Breathe out, curl up into ab prep, hold your tabletop position. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, abs flatten, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 30, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, reaching down through the shoulders, and in. And that's halfway. Now if you can, try extending the legs. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, the lower the legs go, the harder. The higher they stay, the easier. And try to keep those knees nice and straight, glutes squeeze, last 10. And reach through the arms, hold for a breath in, hug the legs in, and rest down. Well done. You should have really warmed up those abs now. And just rest your feet back down, arms just resting back by your sides. Alright, we're going to move into a little bit of glute work now. So we're just going to roll over onto your right hand side, grab a pillow or a rolled up towel, just pop that in between your ear and your shoulder. We're going to keep the underneath leg bent, but we're going to extend the top leg out nice and long. We're going to start with a little pendular swing with that top leg. So make sure that your body's in that nice long line. We've got that waist lifted, bottom tucked. Alright, we're going to start pointing the toe. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the leg forward. And then we're going to bring the leg back, breathing in. And flex the ankle and exhale, bring the leg back behind. Breathe in, come back to the center, point. Breathe out, come forward. Breathe in, come back to the center, flex. Exhale, draw the leg back. Back to the center, point, exhale, forward. Back to the center, flex, exhale, back, squeezing into the glutes. Point, last one. Back to center, squeeze the bum, flex and draw back through the heel. Now hold there, keep that foot flexed, stretch out through that heel, squeeze the glutes, lift up a little bit higher, and then we're just trying to pulse up there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point your toe, turn the knee up slightly, and we're doing 5 circles. Breathing in, come forward, breathe out, up and over. Inhale forward, exhale up and over. Again, make sure that we're working back through that circle to use the glutes and not the muscles through the front of the hip too much here. And change direction. Breathing in to start the circle, exhale to finish. Keep lengthening through the waist, tucking through the pelvis. Good, last one. And then having a rest down. All right, now you should have really warmed up those glutes now. So we're going to do a little bit on the inner thigh now just to give that a break. So with these ones, you can tuck that top leg forward. You can either rest your foot on the floor so that the knee's lifted, or you can lower your knee down, or even prop a rolled up towel underneath your knee there. So we're going to have that underneath leg nice and straight, lengthening through the waist, Squeeze your bottom, and as you exhale, we're just lifting that bottom leg. Breathing in as it lowers down. Keep the knees strong and straight. Breathing in, down. 3 more. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Good. 1 more. And down. Then we lift up again and hold. Flex the ankle. Stretch out through the heel. Squeeze your bottom. And pulsing up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest down. And stretch both legs out nice and long now. Just finishing these side lying exercises with some double leg lifts. Now these are quite challenging. You might need your top hand for some balance, and don't worry too much about how high you lift. Think about the length. Try to keep the legs squeezed together. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, abs on as we lift, and breathing in to lower. And again, breathing out to lift. Just know that if there's a lot of pressure on your underneath hip bone, can be a bit tender, just lift your top leg, okay, if it is a bit sore. Sometimes it's a bit tender because the IT band's a bit tight, but if it is quite painful, last one, just lift the top leg and rest down. Excellent work. We'll come over onto your back and do a glute stretch. So we'll go into our pretzel stretch, just crossing your left foot over your right knee and then hugging the legs up towards you if you need a little bit more stretch. Now trying to really turn the knee out and rotate through that left hip and get the good stretch into the glutes. Try to relax the shoulders. Another 3 seconds. And then releasing down. Excellent. We'll come down to the other end. On the left hand side now with the underneath leg bent. Top leg stretching out nice and long. Body in a nice straight line. Tuck the pelvis, pull the ribs in, and just lifting up to hip height. So we're starting with a point. We're going to breathe out to come forward. We're going to breathe and come back to the midline, flex, and exhale to come back. Breathing into the center, point, exhale forward. Breathing in, back to center, flex, squeeze the glutes to pull back. Point and forward. Back to center, flex and squeeze into the glutes, and really fight that with your abdominals so that we don't overarch. Abs and glutes working together. Good. Last one. Flex and squeeze and pull back. Good. Now keep the flexed foot. Bring the leg a little higher. Hold. Keep the hips from rolling backward and pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to hip height. Pointing. Turning up a little. Breathing in to come forward. Exhale over. Inhale forward, exhale over. Again, note that these aren't big circles. Brad's only doing them about the size of a basketball. And that's to help keep the pelvis nice and stable and really target those glutes. Last one. And change direction. Coming back and up and over. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. Focus on that breath. And keep that underneath leg relaxed as well. Lovely. Now you should have woken up those glutes, so we'll give them a break and activate the inner thigh. So top leg comes forward, bottom leg stretches out long this time. Again, kind of getting that knee nice and straight, soft point but a relaxed ankle. And exhale, squeeze with the glutes and inner thighs to lift, breathing into lower. Again, squeeze and lift. Again, just know that if there is a lot of tenderness on your hip, if you have any problem with bursitis in the hip, then you might not want to do this exercise, and that's fine. Just take a break and join us in the next one. Now on the next one here, we're going to hold the lift, flex the ankle, stretch out through that heel, squeeze the bum, and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resting down. Excellent. Both legs stretch out. Grand finale, the double leg stretch. Again, if you've got hip bursitis problems, just lift your top leg. Otherwise, lengthen, exhale, lift. Think about stretching your top leg longer than your bottom leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Squeezing with the inner thighs and glutes, working through these obliques here. Connect the ribs and hips at the front. Okay, it's easy for the lower back to take over, so really activate In through the abdominal muscles and those obliques. Last one. Excellent. And rest. And we'll come over onto your back for your glute stretch. On the back, we want to cross your right foot over your left knee. And if you need more stretch, then hugging that left thigh up towards you for a full pretzel stretch. Otherwise, just trying to get that knee turned out as much as you can without letting the hips swivel. Relax those shoulders back to the floor. Try to lengthen your tailbone down towards the mat to help get a deeper stretch in your hips. And then releasing the legs down. All right, we'll go into a second set of ab work. So this one we're focusing a bit more into our oblique muscles. And we're going to do it a little differently to our crisscrosses than we normally do. We're just going to do the obliques by actually twisting the pelvis a little. So we're going to bring your feet and knees together. We're going to slightly imprint the lower spine. Now, keeping the ankle bones connected, we're going to just let the knees roll about 45 degrees off to the side. So your right hip will just be slightly lifted off the floor. Again, re-tuck the pelvis, so we're activating those lower abs, and bring your hands in behind your head. Okay, so you've got the knees slightly tilted, not so far that your back starts to arch. Now, as you exhale, you're just going to do a straight curl up through your upper body, and then breathing into lower. That straight curl up through your upper body will work your oblique muscles a little bit more than the usual rectus abdominis or six-pack muscles that we normally would work when we're doing a curl up. Just doing two more here. Last one. And resting down. Keep the hands behind the head. Bring the legs back to center and 45 degrees off to the right this time. Again, tuck the pelvis so we don't overarch. And exhale as we curl. Inhale as we lower. Try to keep those hips and knees nice and steady where you've positioned them. Excellent. Really important for that rotation control in the lower back. We've got two more here. And last one. Excellent. And bring the legs back to the center. Now we'll just hug the knees in towards you now. Just give the knees a good hug and a good circle like you're stirring the pot. Just make sure the lower back is nice and relaxed. All right, now we'll go into our normal oblique twists after that. So we're going to again find our neutral spine. If you do need something underneath your bottom, that's a good idea. We'll bring the legs up to tabletop. All right, now we're going to be keeping those elbows nice and wide. As we exhale, we're going to extend the right leg and curl to the left. Breathing and going back to the floor, extend the left leg and curl to the right. So we're always crossing over towards the leg that's in tabletop position. And we're doing just two more sets here. Should feel that in through those upper abs, around the ribs. Last set. And last one here. And then having a rest again. Giving those legs a good hug. All right, now we'll work the other half of the body. So we're just going to lie over onto your stomach now. All right, and with these ones, we'll just start with some spear lifts. So we're going to bring the arms down beside your body. Want the palms facing in and the legs nice and long. We're going to keep the legs down on the floor and just focus on the upper body. Brad's just putting the pillow under his forehead, so if you do want your roll towel or pillow under your forehead, just so you're not smushing your nose into the ground, that's a good idea. So we're going to squeeze the glutes, engage the abs. Exhale, draw the shoulders back, lift the head and chest just a little way off the floor, doesn't have to be long, think of length, and then release down. Breathing in to prepare, exhale, lifting up, and breathe in, lowering down. Exhale as we lift, lengthen those arms and breathing into lower. And again, note that Brad's not lifting his chin up when he comes up. He's keeping his forehead parallel to the floor, keeping that length in the neck. Let's just do one more there. Exhale for that lift and inhale to lower. And then just bring your hands either side of your head. We'll go into a swan extension. So have the hands a little higher up so they're either side of your head now. Breathe in and just lift to your elbows. Anchor the shoulders down and exhale as you press all the way up to the hands. Breathe in, come down to the elbows and then all the way down flat. If you feel a lot of jamming in your lower back, really lift the abs and squeeze the glutes, and this will help to protect the lower back from hyperextending. And really try to increase the curve higher up through your spine. So try to make that a symmetrical curve rather than a hinge. We're doing 3 more. Exhale as we lift, shoulders stay down and don't hitch up. And 2 to go. Again, each lift, lengthen the legs, squeeze the bottom, pull up the abs. And 1 more time. Exhaling as we lift and releasing down. Excellent. Now we're just going to roll over to your side and push up with your hands into a sitting position. So roll. Yeah. Just into sitting. Yeah. And sit. And sit. Okay, and we're just going to sit with your feet together, knees out to the side for a little inner thigh stretch. So bring your feet in or your butterfly stretch. So feet are together. Hold onto your ankles. If you really are very quite stiff with these movements, you can also try them sitting up against a wall or a bit of furniture, or lying on your back with your feet together and your knees bent, and just let your knees drop apart if you're having extra difficulty with your hips. If you can, try to push your elbows out against your inner thighs to get a deeper stretch. Keep your back nice and straight, and then try to lean forward with a straight spine. Try not to just round and slouch over the legs now. Alright, going into a little bit more of a glute stretch and a bit of trunk rotation. So take the legs straight out in front of you. Just crossing one foot up and over the opposite knee, but keep that knee high. Yep. And we're going to rotate around to your left hand side. Your left hand comes around behind you to support you. Your right arm can either cross all the way over that left leg and use that to push it back for a stretch, or you can hug that knee towards your chest. Okay, bring this hand a little bit closer in behind you, but closer to your bottom. Yeah, to help keep you upright so you don't lean backward too much. All right, now we're going to use our breath. So nice breath in here, and then use your breath out to try to twist a little bit further around. Hold for a breath in again, and breathe out, twist. Imagine you're wringing out a wet towel. Brilliant. And relax. Changing sides. Left leg comes up. Left leg's down flat. Right leg is coming up. We're bringing our right hand behind you. Sitting tall still. That left arm is either hugging your knee towards your left shoulder or pushing it across with your elbow. Again, trying to stay upright. Breath in and use your breath out for your twist. Breath in and breath out to twist. And excellent, lovely. Rest from there. We'll go over and just using your hands and your feet to come up into sort of press up type position again, and walk your hands back up to your toes and tuck your chin and slowly roll up through the spine. Reach your hands right up to the ceiling and just lift the chest, and then bring the hands back down, followed by tucking the chin, and we'll roll back down. Use your breath out, rolling down through the spine. Breath in at the bottom. Breathe out as we tuck the tailbone under, rolling up, bring the hands through as well. Reach, follow the hands, looking up, lifting the chest, and one more time. Breathing out as we roll down. Take a breath in and breathing out as we roll up. Nice breath in as we come to the ceiling. And breathing out, the hands come down. And we're all done for today. Thanks for joining us.